everyone, my name is Mitz, and here we are back with Higurashi When They Cry. So, I'm actually really happy about this, that Keiichi is now starting to make contingency plans, maybe going a bit too far at least, and I'm trying to get that bad because it's gonna be threatening to Rina and Mion, and just all of that, but he's making some good contingency plans, all that, it's great. The whole parents thing makes sense in context, and I completely understand that. But at least he told something like, "Hey, mom, dad, in case I die, look at this." And actually, the wall behind the wall clock, that's actually so big, a smart of a place to put it. And if I would still write down those two bits of the friends bit, and and if anything, actually, purely happens, you actually get more trust, and it gets explained away by them and they actually talk it out instead of just pure threats, erase it, then put it back in the clock, and we get more evidence put on the list, then yes, that's good. But until they actually talk about the needle in the goddamn mochi, I'm still gonna be upset about this because it completely makes a bit more sense learning about Rina's past, she has a neurological disorder, and that make her go into more aggression and all that. It makes sense there, but for Mion of all people, that just sounds like a complete and utter just malicious intent. Completely. Not even the whole verge of just having a snap in judgment like that, or over a period of time of getting stress build up and all that. This is completely just, well, you know too much, there you go, harm way. Oh boy, oh boy, oh. They actually better goddamn talk we to go on. God damn it. Ah, bright new day. Do you feel better to take place in club activities? This is the first time I've woken up with such clarity. What the brain can do when you think clearly. I'm glad you got your thunk, though, of the Stockholm Syndrome stuff, honestly. Ah, God. I do not want anyone under that, god damn it. It was 5:59, just moments before my alarm would go off. Just stop time and just sleep for another 2 hours, then unfreeze time and let the clock alarm go off, obviously. You can do that, right? I was amazed at the precision of my internal clock. Yeah, sometimes. I remember just having a routine so so in depth that when I was in middle school and high school, having an alarm set off, and I woke up. Mostly, I just woke up before both the alarm went off because I can already sense my mom just about to walk into my room and go, "Wake up, you!" God. I had made preparations for the next day of school before I went to bed. I changed quickly, descended to the deserted lower floor. Oh, Keiichi, you're completely happy now. Oh, that was just what you needed. I still wish you would have took the medicine though, just because I just want to give a petty spite to them, honestly, still. Maybe you did already, but still. I still wanted a tiny bit of just retribution, revenge, even not to that grand of a scale just yet. It appeared that my mom was still asleep. It takes an hour, for you to get ready, because she usually makes breakfast then, or it's her off day. Yeah. Neither breakfast nor lunch was ready. Yesterday, I just unilaterally declared that I would be leaving early today, so it can be helped. Ah, I see, so you wake up at 7 or something like that. I slathered jam on some bread and topped it with instant cocoa. Just as I was finishing up breakfast, Mom rose groggily from her slumber. My, Keiichi, you're up early. Is this some sort of school event? Not really, I just want to walk there alone. Answering bluntly, I picked up my bag and stood after stuffing 2 slices of bread down my throat. You're leaving already? What about lunch? If you don't wait a bit, I can't make it. If I waited for her to make my lunch, then it would end up being the same time as usual. If I did that, it would raise the chance of me running to Rina and Mia on the way. Yes, from today onwards, I was going to school alone. I'll be fine for today. Then what will you do for lunch? I'll slip out and buy some bread or something at the store. Really? Oh, then here's some lunch money. Be sure to bring back the receipt. No, okay, that's actually good, responsible. I took the 1,000 yen bill from Mom and slipped it in my pocket. It's pretty early. Is Rina-chan up this early as well? No, just me. Did you tell Rina-chan you're leaving early? I have no reason to tell her every little detail now, do I? Finding it difficult answering the onslaught of questions, I made an annoyed face. Tell Rina that I went ahead when she comes. Hey, Keiichi, wait! It's not that I didn't trust my parents. I just couldn't rely on them. Oh my gosh. The parents are now realizing, oh my gosh, our little boy is like slowly slipping away from us. What do we do? And if Keiichi actually does die, then like, where did we go wrong? The curse! Blame it on the curse! They couldn't help me. I can only hope that they didn't get involved. It was safer that way. You know, that's what some people who are about to die would say too. I'm just gonna just shave and, you know, shovel on those death flags on there. Like, I was gonna say red flags, but like, no, death flags. You know, the skull, the black flag with the skull painted on them. Just that, completely, just smother you entirely with it. Just clinging to your shirt and all that, like little bristles in the nature. The first time since I moved here, I headed down the road to school alone. And Rena was still up, though. Up until now, I had always walked down the same path at the same time each day. So I always met with the same people at the same places. But now you're early, so now they're not there. The routine is completely out of course now. You're slowly changing it. You're not acting normal as you should. But today was different. I didn't meet the people I would normally, and nobody was at places where I would normally met them. Of course, Rena wasn't in the spot where we usually met, and there wasn't anyone at the spot where we would have met up with me on. The length, the trees' shadows, the morning air, and the brightness of the sun. It was a completely different type of morning from what I was used to. Without a doubt, it felt strange. Yeah, it's a change of pace, so you get used to it. It's a surreal feeling. It left me with the impression that I had destroyed the illusion Hinamizawa had set up for me before I'd eat enough time to prepare all the props needed to deceive me. My, Keiichi-kun, you're so early today. Is everyone meeting early this morning? The person who called out to me was someone we always passed by as they were taking a walk along the edge of the fields. Their name was... I forgot. Of course, this was in the spot where we usually pass each other. I woke up early today, so I thought it would be a good change of pace. That's all. I threw out a random excuse. What about Rena-chan and Mion-chan? They're dead to me. Are you by yourself today? Well, yeah. I was being asked the same type of questions my mom was asking. You gotta keep the illusion up or else the whole world's gonna collapse down around you. You're going against the grain. So I asked and answered them the same uninteresting, vague manner. Oh, ooh, nice. It wasn't funny being asked where Rena was each time I passed by someone. They really just want to, ship you two kids together. But maybe it was just expected. It was because for so long we were always together so amicably. You know, I felt that I left my guard down. We could still be friends. Stop it, Keiichi. Don't think about that anymore. We're not friends. You spent all day yesterday thinking about how dangerous it was to go soft, didn't you? Oh, that's where you're going for this whole thing. Okay, you're trying to go completely tough mode now. That's not gonna go well. But beep beep. A car horn blared from out of nowhere. Even though I was walking, lost in thought, that horn was way too close. Let me just, instead of, the dice from, the Phoenix Wright fan game stuff, let me just, loud sip. Annoyance sip. A mechanical behemoth barreled at me from behind, catching me completely off guard. By the time I turned around, the van's hulking chase was almost on top of me. Oh, it's not Oshi, it's someone who wants to kill us. Okay. I've seen plenty of cars veer to the opposite shoulder to avoid pedestrians, but this car was doing the opposite. It felt like there was somebody in the opposite shoulder. The van was swerving my direction to avoid them. That blissfully ignorant train of thought delayed me from realizing something much more important. That large mass was hurtling right at me. Was it gonna hit me? The inside of my head instantly flooded with a painfully cold liquid. In that moment, the scene before me, no, time itself had frozen. Look, I was goddamn joking, but you have time powers! My god. In the silence of that frozen moment, I compared the van, so close that I had no way to dodge it. My body, the upper half twisted awkwardly in order to look behind me. There was no way I could dive out of the way in my current position. If I lost focus now, this moment would unpause, and I would possibly be plowed over. Kind of silly pose. My first thought, if you can't go to left or right, jump. Bend my upper body over towards the patio by the side of the road. If I bend far enough, I just get away with being hit by a side view mirror. Since the thought crossed my mind, the temporal stasis was shattered by the deafening sound of the van. The side mirror struck my shoulder, sending me spinning off through the air like a top, locked in my contorted position. Everyone in this town is so used to their, like, routines that this has happened. Kasplash! Sudden tumbling through the air, I crashed into the muddy paddy by the side of the road. My entire body was soiled and drenched. The choice I had made in the incident was unmistakably for the best. I was covered in mud, but when the alternative was being hit by a car, it was as close as I could be to being unscathed. Rising out from the paddy, I had enough in me to glower over the stopped van and yell profanity to the driver. I'm not sure if he would have seen me, but the van sped off suddenly. Oh yes, hit and run, nice! Wait, damn it! This is what they call a hit and run, wasn't it? I couldn't help but continue yelling at profanities. The disgrace from being covered in mud hurt me more than any physical wounds. I slogged through the muddy paddy and made my way up back to the road. Of course, no one's around to goddamn witness it. This is a crime, god damn it! Shit, I'll track you down and sue you. Yeah, you'll hear from my lawyer team. God. If I go looking for a van, I'm sure to find it in this little village. Just keep it on mind. The path I was on had rice paddies on either side. It became so narrow that one car could barely fit through. It wasn't a place you could tear full speed down in a car, let alone pass by pedestrians. I'm not going to think too deeply into it, just paranoia. Not only was it a narrow road, but the car just now was closer to my side of the road than the other when it went past me. Even as I cursed, I was desperately trying to suppress the dark cloud roiling up inside me. This wasn't just a hit and run. That car just now was trying to run me over, wasn't it? Yeah, your paranoia's getting to you, dude. Thinking back, I did feel like there had been a car coming on me slowly for a while. Oh, okay, if you're thinking about that, then okay. That's right. As soon as I parted ways with that person taking a walk, I had that feeling the whole time. If it had one to pass me, then it had no shortage of chances. Normally, I would have felt suspicious and turned around sooner. But I was lost in thought, and now I was kicking myself for not realizing it was there sooner. And then when the path became narrow, there was no one else in sight, he floored it. Or she. If I had hesitated for even a moment, the result would have been no laughing matter. As the adrenaline rush from nearly being run over subsided, and the realization of just how terrifying the preceding events were sunk in, there was no doubt about it. That van was intentionally trying to hit me. A cold, vicious sweat seeped from my scalp and slid down my back before dribbling off. I struggled to avoid falling into a panic. There was still the possibility that this was really just an accident. Let's go with that. But if you were right about the whole thing in the back, an adult wants to kill you instead of your friends. Let's go with that theory now, this time. Calm down, Keiichi. No, go to your paranoia now. But also, don't be so naive, Keiichi. Which one is it? Which one do you want? Being that lax will get you killed next time. You need to always be on your toes. Tiptoes. Don't give them any openings. If my enemy was really out to kill me, then next time, they would use a more reliable method. If that time came and I was acting like I was now, this is going against, you do believe in Oshiro's curse, but, you're still sliding into the village now. You're acting in the curse now. You're both trying to set up things to protect yourself, at the same time, try to pretend everything's fine. The curse is gonna get to you, Keiichi. Ugh. Getting covered in mud was the price I had to pay for my own naivete. Covered in mud, but without injury. Not even a sprain. At least that's good. I guess it's what you would call the silver lining. More the brown lining here. I began walking again, this time cautiously. I won't even show a hint of carelessness here. Just puff out your chest, square your shoulders, and just confidently walk to the school. I'll bring that bat, find that van, and bash those windows in. Wait, I'm turning to Rina now. I suspected only Rina and the others up until now. No, it was because I suspected them that I had believed there were no other enemies. Oishi-san had said so, didn't he? There was the possibility of a village conspiracy. Yeah. Was I really mired so deeply in the situation that I had no choice but to try and carry on as usual? Yeah, but the contingency plans are honestly kind of really good here, though. Wouldn't it be safest just to hole myself up in my house? Yeah, but the moment I abandoned my regular routine, everyone around me would abandon theirs as well. Now it's just too horrifying of a thought. I recall the tales Oishi-san told me of when Hinamizawa was still called Onigafuchi. A frightening and terrifying tale of the entire village of demons hunting their prey, surrounding them and eating them alive. Well, predator prey. One must not interfere with the demons. One must pretend not to see it. The enemy were numerous. The whole village. Everyone's demon, so become Keiichi. Become like one of them. Become not a demon, but a devil. The villagers, with their unwavering faith in the curse, would do nothing to help me. The strong, sudden flash of sunshine made me slightly dizzy. Like, oh, okay, another burst because morning. Okay. I had no idea what was going on anymore. When I suspected it was the work of a man, I would catch a glimpse of Oyashiro-sama's curse. When I suspected it was Oyashiro-sama's curse, someone would poke their head out. What was coincidence? What was intentional? Who was my enemy? Who was just a bystander? No, what I really, truly want to know was, how did I end up with the proverbial bullseye painted on my back? Eventually, an answer in a form I could understand will appear. I don't care when that will happen, because until then, I cannot die. That alone fueled my resolve to fight and will keep me alive. Yeah. Resilience. Time to break into the school shed. I remember seeing the metal bat in the gym storage shed, but there was a padlock on the door barring my entry. Well, then just pickle it. Like, just picklock it. Pickle it. Use Rena's pickles to pick the lock. At the very least, I want to get my hands on it before everyone else arrived at school. I stood around the school grounds impatiently. Where would be a good opening? I mean, it looks like they're all barred, the windows anyway. All I could find were things like pieces of lumber, nothing I could bring into the classroom easily. Then, I had an epiphany. I should search inside the classroom. If it was something in the classroom to begin with, then there wouldn't be a problem. I could tell that everyone's indoor shoes were still in their lockers. Good thing I came early. Nobody else is here yet. At least we're out in the halls, until someone wants to go to the restroom, they see you, they catch you. I wondered, what could I find in the classroom? Didn't think I could find an especially effective weapon like a bat, or the keys maybe. But the principal's in the place, and I think that either the janitor's closet would be a good bet, the teacher's lounge. But you're going to corporeal espionage by walking around then. But it couldn't be helped at this point. Until the gym storage shed was open, I needed to find a substitute. A lingering hint of naivete whispered that there was no way I'd be attacked at school. Honestly, everyone wants to keep everyone wants to keep the pretense up. Not really, but I honestly don't think they would attack at school though. They had to go on if Rina and Mion had attacked underhandedly like that. Honestly, I don't believe it at all, unless they go more daring. But such soft ideas would no longer protect me. You're going the opposite way now, dude. I think that they were slowly making their way into parts of my life that I had once thought impenetrable. In the worst case, my own house might not be safe anymore. That was an incredibly frightening thought. I understand where you're coming from, though. I believe that not considering the worst case scenario would have been even more frightening. But I'm also, if you think the worst case scenario is definitely going to happen, and you take every measure possible to make sure it doesn't happen, you might just go insane. It's fine, you have one or two precautions for it, but if you bar all that, the less likely, the more bester case scenarios might happen, and everyone looks at you like you're crazy. Anyways, I will survive. I will survive. So long as I lived, then I would definitely be able to escape this labyrinth of nonsense. Definitely. My exploration of the classroom came to an impasse. That much was to be expected. There was no way there would be anything that would be a weapon in the classroom. Well, I guess pens or pencils, but that's normal. Or a set of keys, honestly. Honestly, it could use keys, pointy ends and all that. You're it's probably not gonna be that good, but something it's better than nothing, honestly. In case of emergency, there's probably nothing I could do but swing my own chair around. Yeah, use the environment to your advantage. My gaze landed on the lockers that had come to be used for personal storage. The locker that Mion used to store her pile of games was among them. There was one for each person in the class, all lined up. Of course, there was one for me as well. Oh yeah, there was supposed to be a tracksuit in my locker. Seeing me covered in mud would be strange. I should go change later. But first, I needed a weapon. When my classmates came, it would be hard to rummage through all the lockers. You're rummaging through lockers while covered in mud. Suspicious. I swiftly began opening the lockers one by one. Oh boy, this can be fun. They were mostly just filled with things like gym clothes, personal items, and umbrellas. An umbrella? God damn it, Keiichi. If I couldn't find anything better, then this would have to be my weapon. I was going to give up on finding anything decent when I opened a locker that held exactly what I wanted. Yeah, but have fun, like, waving the umbrella around and someone's like, why do you have my umbrella? Have fun with that. It was, without a doubt, a metal bat. Oh. It was well worn and pretty beaten up. There was no doubt it was usable. In the locker, there reeked of mold. There also hung a baseball uniform. It was probably the locker of a student in a Pee-wee league or something like that. If that was the case, then he probably asked for it back. Yeah. That time, I could hear the voice of the children scuffling their way noisily in from the hallway. Amongst them, I can make a Rika-chan and Sadako. Have fun. Close the goddamn locker. Good morning. My, you're quite early this morning, Keiichi-san. I nonchalantly hit the bat I was holding behind my back. This is not going to go well at all, you. What is with your outfit? You're covered in mud. How exactly are you going to, like, hide the bat but also change clothes? How far this plan of yours is going to go? This is not going to go well, okay? Yeah, I had a little incident. I'm going to change now, so cut me some slack. That said, I began taking out my clothes. So I go being a blush as I expected her to. What? Why? Changing from a lady? Have you no tact at all? I would think that a lady staring at someone who's changing would be the one lacking in tact. There's no changing room for the boys, so just deal with it. Okay. You just go to the restroom, honestly. As Sadako feigned disgust, she went to the hall, still blushing. Yeah, okay, then bye, Sadako. Conversely, Rika-chan continued to stare at me, preparing to change. Just cold, dead hard stare. Just, I know. You don't scare me. If Rika-chan is a lady as well, then I don't think it would be appropriate for you to be watching. I'm not a lady, so it's fine. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. God damn it. That's great. She deliberately pouted and looked at me with upturned eyes. Then, starting now, you're a lady. Now, spin. If I'm a lady, then I suppose I must. Rika-chan, appearing to be satisfied with being considered a lady, made her way to join Sadako in the hallway. Just a brief sigh of relief, Rika-chan stopped suddenly and turned back towards me. Are you gonna start playing baseball? I think that Rika-chan noticed the bat. Yeah, just, you know, I was feeling a little bit out of shape. So I thought I'd just try pressing my swing. I think it's wonderful you're taking care of your health. She's talking like an old lady, despite her appearance. After saying that, Rika-chan started to leave again, but stopped and looked back at me once more. Please don't lose that bat. It seems she already knew I took it out of someone's locker. There was no name in the locker door. I didn't know whose bat it was, but I'll be borrowing it until they complained. It wouldn't be for long, just until the gym storage shed was opened. I have a sinking feeling it could be someone that we already know. To quickly change into the tracksuit, I took the time. I still had plenty of time before class began because I came so early. Where are you gonna put the bat? I took the bat in one hand and went out to the schoolyard. That was, of course, to practice my swing. It was so bad my first thought was, I'm gonna bury the bat to make sure I can take it up when someone attacks me. I'll just run here, get to the school backyard and dig it up, and oh yeah, I'll be able to fend them off like this. God. I need to make it known I would always have a bat on me, so I could practice my swing. At some point, the sunlight had become even stronger. Disregarding my classmates as they made their way to school, I took my position in the shadow of the school building. I wasn't the academic type, and I wasn't much of an athlete either. You're a hopelessly average student. I might get muscle pain if I just suddenly start swinging. I should at least start out with some warm-ups. I doubt anyone would think I was doing something out of the ordinary. Why are you in the shadow then if you're not doing anything out of the ordinary then? Which was the exact opposite of my actual mental state. I gripped the bat and swung lightly. The bat was by no means light. The weight would make it a reliable weapon when I needed to be. Of course, I can only pray that the moment I need to use this weapon would never come. Just carrying around what could deter attacks against me. At least that's what I hoped. Hopefully your grip is still good. Huh? Kei-chan? What are you doing? Being Maebara with a hysterical voice, I jumped. Yay. Whoa, Keiichi-kun, are you on the baseball team? The baseball team? That baseball team? You should probably sign up for it now, just in case. It was Rina and me on. I'm surprised to hear you went off ahead. What are you doing, Kei-chan? Can you tell by looking? I'm practicing my swing for the championship. You can say it's part of my diet if you want. Diet? Kei-chan, are you really that fat? Yeah, your mochi made me fat, even though I only had a few bites of it. But you didn't know, I actually have a beer belly. Don't call me out like that. It's plump and jiggles. Plump and jiggles? Rina, stop right there. Rina, you don't have to imagine something weird like that. Disrupt Rina from imagining something vulgar. I ruffled her hair messily. Well then, I hope you make it to regionals at least. This old man would cheer you on. Regionally speaking, it seems that Oshima High is pretty strong. They say their southpaw, Kamita-kun, is amazing. Good luck! It seems they already taken me for a baseball nut, but oh well. Have fun. Well, if I really did make it to the championship, it would be a cinch. After all, I'll be the pitcher and catcher. I pitched the ball, then run past the ball, I just threw and changed over to being the catcher in a burst of super incredible explosive speed. What are you even thinking anymore? What are you even thinking anymore? I laughed dryly at the ludicrous image. Coming back to my senses, I smashed the bat against the ground. Damn it! What am I laughing at? Okay. I pounded the ground over and over. You're not doing well. With each impact, the reverberation traveling through the bat stung my hands. They smile at me like that. Ugh. Don't allow anyone close to me. Don't trust anyone, no matter how many times I tell myself that. If they made me smile like that, I'll... I already knew quite well that there were demons dwelling in my smiling friends. But I just couldn't believe it. Well, make friends with the demons then. That's the thing. Make friends with the monsters. Did that kind of split personality really exist? They're just not... It's not split personality, just another side of them. Honestly. Like how Rina confessed to the doctor, when it's simply being possessed by Oishiro-sama, you're taking this a bit too far. In other words, does supernatural being like Oishiro-sama really exist, and was it possessing everyone to try and kill me? Look, it's another thing entirely and all that, but if there's like a whole neurological disorder going on, like with Rina, it feels like there is something going on. If that's what she's diagnosed with, and it's like, it could be the whole thing of Oishi like giving you like a certain like narrative to work with, but it just feels like it's completely believable though, honestly. It just does. That's what it feels like. I'm literally barring off supernatural right now. It just doesn't line up really well right now. It just doesn't at all. No. In other words, does supernatural being like Oishiro-sama really exist? And was it possessing everyone to try and kill me? Yeah. That would be wonderful. If only everyone were actually my friends all along and everything was all just Oishiro-sama's fault. You're about to go into hysteria. You damn fool, Keiichi Maebara. Come on now! I yelled out, drawing out all the power from the pit of my stomach, and raised the bat violently into the air. Stop being so soft! As I screamed out with all my might, I beat the metal bat into the ground over and over. With every impact, my weakness was being beaten down. Smash. Forget. Smash. Don't be soft. Smash. Know your enemy. Smash. Like hell I'd let them kill me. my shoulders heaving up and down from my ragged breathing. I heard the first bell ring just as I calmed down. Yeah, you're just having a good old fun time there, Keiichi. I feel like the baseball team in this case is not going to help you, even if you were taking it seriously. eh. I gasped with a sudden realization. That was the final bell. How long were you out there? As I felt all the tension drain from me, I let a deep breath. Did you? Oh my god, you need so much help! God damn it! My mind was in a muddled state for much of the entire day. I didn't feel like I was awake, but it didn't feel like I was asleep either. I couldn't say it felt especially comfortable, but I felt a kind of relief that the sanctity of the school part of my daily life had yet to be violated. How long would I have to keep on living like this? I can only grit my teeth and bear with it as this living hell slowly gnawed away at me. Keiichi-kun! Come on! It's club time! Club time! The sound of Rina's voice brought me back to my senses. Oh, were you actually in your class, but you just went... I thought you just made it sound like you're just outside beating the ground with a baseball bat, and everyone just looking at the windows the whole class. They're like, I think he's gone insane. But no, God. Come on, Kei-chan, stop spacing out. Bring your desk. Everyone's moving their desks together as usual. Lunch? Or club activities? No, club activities. That's right. It was happy fun club time. The happy joy time. I had no intention of taking part. I haphazardly stuffed the contents of my desk into my bag as I prepared to go home. It was a weak-handed gesture to avoid having to actually say, I'll be going home now. Yeah, now that, Keiichi's slowly trying to isolate himself, this is going bad, actually. It's going so bad. He's isolating himself. Oh, no. What's this, Kei-chan? You plan on going home right away again? Mian sounded quite disappointed. I'm just not in the mood. Could you just let me be for a while? You know, it's kind of your guys' fault for this happening. Actually talk it out. Even if you don't want to speak about it at all, actually address it. A tone of the words that spilled from my mouth and matched Mion's disapproving glare. I felt like the air in the room had dried out. Sadako looked like she was about to say something, or perhaps dissuaded by the mood. She swallowed her words and stayed silent. Honestly, I feel like those two before, if anything, their mood, their personality changes, something happens from this, till next year, honestly, I completely believe they're just the most normal people this time. They've just been traumatized. They're trying to make the best of it. And Rina and me and I'm just taking it way too far. That's just what it feels like so far. So far. How many times can I say so far? Yeah. Nobody said a thing. I took that to mean that I could leave if I wanted. The collective gaze of the four of them, and the tiny pins used to mount an inside display, held me in place. Rina was the one who cut through the heavy mood. Keiichi-kun, you just didn't like playing with girls, I guess. She said in such a melancholic tone that it sent a wave of pain racing through my heart. I hate you. If this pain was going to kill me, I wanted it to be the soft part of me that would still feel pain. I tore at my chest, violently tearing out the pins that held me in place. That's not it at all. I'd only be hurting myself by saying anything more, just all my words. Cutting things off there, I turned away and exited the classroom. They didn't speak a word to me as I left. Yay! It was a long, dull trip back home, but I didn't lose focus. I firmly squeezed the grip of the bat, which was already soggy from sweat. Realizing that, I weighted it down with my sleeve. If something were to happen, I wouldn't want it to be slippery. Since this morning, I had become especially sensitive to the presence of cars. Even while walking, my ears pricked up and sought out threatening sounds and presences that could be closing in. And that was why I could hear it. Without a doubt, there were footsteps. Those footsteps had matched up perfectly with mine for a while now. From what I could sense, it was just one person. Hey, Keiichi, you want to take a swing? But I had no intention of being careless. He intended to follow me like that car this morning until we were in a good location to assault me. But it wasn't a good idea to keep walking like this. I stopped walking and looked back. The wooden path crowded with trees responded with silence if there was nobody there to begin with. But I wouldn't be fooled. I was certain footsteps were following me. Take 5 more footsteps, and then stop. Turn around again. And just as I stopped, the footsteps stopped as well. Meaning, the person following me wanted to keep their distance. That was, without question, proof that I was their target. I held my breath, waiting for the presence to panic and start moving again. The trees rustled with the sound of the wind. Higurashi also joined the dissonant chorus, trying to throw my focus into disarray. Had 5 minutes passed? Or had I been like this for a whole 30 minutes? It was so hard to breathe that I might have suffocated it. It seemed like would be the first one to panic. Without a doubt, they were lurking in the shade of the tree with bated breath. Then, I'd make the first move. I fixed my grip in the bat. I raised it up to my shoulder to be ready to swing it at any time. Hey! I know you're there! Though I might, I screamed at whoever was hiding in the shade of the trees. The presence in the shade didn't budge. Until the moment I found them, they had no intention of revealing themselves. I know already! I know you're there! I screamed out angrily at them again, but even still, they didn't move at all. Then I'll go over there myself. Let that paranoia go, let the paranoia go and it consume you. With all due diligence, I approached, step by step. It's a squirrel. Stepping into a tree's shadow, I saw a human figure there. Oh, hi! A figure was cut up like a small animal. Hi. Rena! When she realized I'd found her, her expression softened. She seemed apologetic, but wasn't going to speak a word. Did you have some business with me? I wouldn't accept that silence and screamed the question at her. You have to speak right now. Don't you dare try to worm out of it. Actually address it. Actually talk. Not really. It's just Rena was in a panic with tears welling up in her eyes. It was obvious that she'd been following me. What about the club? Since you're not, I'm not. It shouldn't matter. Don't mind me and just go play. But I'm just worried about you. You're doing a terrible job at this. If that's actually, genuine. Again, thinking about how I've been acting until now, it wasn't hard to imagine that my behavior could have been perceived as strange. Serena was concerned. At a quick glance, that's how it would seem. But I wasn't going to let my guard down that easily. If that really was the case, she still wouldn't have to do something like that try to tail me. And let's go with this. Let me just put this idea out there because it hit me right now, but I don't buy it for a second. Literally just him going crazy because of the whole possession by Oshiro-sama thing, and he just completely misheard all that, and a combination of Oishi just adding all that to his paranoia and all that, just making him think something worse is happening. I don't buy that at all, though. I feel like the game's bringing it up, though. They brought up the possession thing once by Keiichi, so why not apply it to him? And she should have called out to me when I was leaving and gone out right with me. But Rena didn't do that. She kept her distance from me and matched my walking speed. On top of that, she matched the sound of her footsteps and deviously tried to hide her presence from me. Then as she realized I noticed she was there, she held her breath as she tried to hiding from me. She wore a timid expression that would force one to take pity on her. Without a doubt, she was tailing me. Stop following me. Aww. Still glaring at Rena, I continued walking onwards. After I walked for a bit, she ignored my command and began walking again. So I yelled at her once more. I told you not to follow me! But my house is the same direction! Then walk ahead of me. I'll start walking once I can't see you anymore. I moved out of the way and waved my bat violently to urge her forward. I like to go home together with you. Making a pitiful expression, she meekly squeaked out the words in a voice that she knew would come to my heart. That agitated me to no end. I knew it was a lie. Even if it wasn't, it's still just aggravating in general. If you wanted to go home together, then you should have called out to me. But you're just blurting out random lies. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. It seemed that seething anger within me was written all over my face. Even without me saying anything, Rena understood what I was feeling inside. If you get it, then go. I swung the bat, urging her to begin to walk. Rena looked back and forth between me and the bat, and started walking hesitantly, then stopped again. Go on then, hurry. I'm going. So please stop with the bat. It's scary. Rena guarded herself while pointing to me holding the bat. She may have realized I wasn't planning on using this bat for baseball. I lowered the bat, but still guardedly opened the way for her. Go. There's no problem now, is there? There was nothing else she could protest. She passed by me timidly so as not to set me off. It wasn't even gonna be a thing of like they could actually talk it out because he's threatening her as well. And even if like it wouldn't be even a good place to even try that whole thing of like being completely dropped the facade and all that and do that whole thing. Even if it's not gonna happen, it's not gonna reasonably happen, honestly. As I watched her pass by, she stopped completely after having barely moved at all. Hey, don't stop! The powerful gust flew past us, barraging my face with dust. Oh, she's through dust. Oh boy. The dust got my eyes and clouded my vision. Yay. While rubbing my eyes with my left hand, I swung blindly with the bat in my right, right in the small opening I presented. Arena didn't even try to attack in the opening. Attack me? No, she didn't budge an inch. Just from the sound of her fluttering skirt in the wind. As the skirt settled, so did the silence. That moment, the voice inside of me immediately warned me of impending danger. I was caught by surprise. The smell of the air had changed? The smell of the air? Okay, maybe there might be supernatural, unless you're, like, actually thinking paranoia. Because it's always, like, a thing. Well, the dust was actually... Never mind. The dust literally just hit around in your face. Of course, the smell changed. The dust went into your nose. Of course, the smells weird. Without me realizing it, the air around me suddenly felt like a calamity was about to befall me. It's like the air suddenly become invisible concrete, like Rena and I were locked into space. Rena didn't move an inch. Also unable to move, I stared at her back. Rena was the first to break the silence. Instantly, she altered her stance. Oh boy. I felt like I just witnessed her shift from Rena into the other person who looks like Rena. But the voice was one I knew well, which filled me with that kind of bewildering pity. Carelessly, I felt relief upon hearing the pitiful voice, probably because now you feel like it might be, you're not insane. Well, excuse me, but, can I ask you something? Too shy to even turn around, Rena squeezed her voice out desperately, which I didn't think we were actually get a sprite of, like, like, I guess just showing off her back just to, like, set the mood even more. It would actually make things a bit more, creepy. As she trembled, I was actually waiting for it. What? Well, why do you have a bat, I wonder? And we can't see your face exactly. The question Rena asked was by no means unexpected. I can carry it wherever I want. But you didn't have one up until today. Why so suddenly? It's alright if I decide to do something suddenly, isn't it? Is it strange that I have a bat now? Because, Keiichi, you're not the kind of person to play baseball. It's weird. I couldn't tell what kind of answer she was looking for. I was getting tired of answering her. I just suddenly got the urge to play baseball. Is that so weird? It's weird. She answered instantly, and that annoyed me slightly. I just suddenly wanted to play baseball. Nothing else. And I wanted to pass my swing, so I'm carrying around a bat. What's strange about that? Strange. Weird. Definitely. Why you two... Your ramblings are annoying me, Rena. Is it that strange for me to have an interest in sports? I tried to sound a bit more threatening to end the conversation. Until my suspicions about Rena were cleared, I had no obligation to answer her questions. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Don't get so angry. Rena still didn't turn around and spat out words of apology one after the next. Just one last thing. Tell me one last thing. I don't feel like talking anymore. Hurry up and go. I yelled loudly at her, causing her to flinch like she'd been struck. Seeing her in such a pathetic state caused my heart to ache sorely. Man, I just love how it's all written though. God damn it. Even when, like, even the atmosphere changed, it felt like, it's great, it's nice. Even though she was afraid, she stubbornly kept herself from moving. Before I was able to threaten her again, Rena asked her final question. What? Why is eating her bat the same? What did she mean by the bat was the same? I had no idea what she was talking about. That just means like he's talking about it's Satoshi's bat. That's not exactly that too far-fetched, but unless she's thinking something happened at her school though. And actually like she was lying, but still. Everyone's going insane. Yeah. We'll come to when we come to it. What are you saying? I mean, why is even the bat the same? I don't understand what you mean at all. Say it clearly. Even still, Rena didn't turn around. After inhaling deeply, she screamed. I mean, why is even the bat the same as Satoshi-kun's? Satoshi being... Huh? It's not that surprising, honestly, but like, why is it surprising that the bat was just in the locker? So unless someone like, this is like master manipulation or something like that, of like if we're going completely, I'm entertaining the whole paranormal side of like just the bat was just set up there and like Keiichi was led to actually grab the bat and freak everyone out just by how familiar the bat is, then this means it's just master manipulation on like, you know, that part, but it just feels weird still. And again, why it's not the same? Don't think it's the same exact bat, but it goes to someone else's. Do you not like watch? I guess Pee-wee leagues going around and like wouldn't Rika and Sadako actually notice the same bat? Why are you so struck by this? Actually, since like if like, you know, Rika and Sadako from the side of it are part of like, I guess the classroom with like, you know, of kids who go to the Pee-wee league, like they would like, you know, see like those kids like grab their stuff in the locker and stuff like that, and like go to baseball games. Even if like they didn't actually see them, they have like some recollection. Maybe not all the time, but like one or two times, and talk about it, or like, well, they'll probably like not bring it up at all because of Rika if saw it, then yeah, not to bring it up to Sadako about that, of her brother and cousin. God damn it. Upon hearing the name of the blue, I became dumbfounded for a brief moment. By Satoshi, did she mean the student who transferred out last year? Or went missing? No, that couldn't be. Rina tried to cover it up by saying he transferred, but Oishi-san told me quite clearly that he was missing. And because of the tips menu anyway, and it makes sense because if it was a yearly like accident and murder thing, you're not gonna get your answers really quickly because the police have it confidential, so you can't learn a single thing about it. And everyone you can ask about it in some way, shape, or form feels like they'll lie to you, which, yeah, I can definitely see. Honestly, it's good, really good. Doubt everything. He was the student who sat in my seat up until last year. He was believed to have been demoned away by Oyashiro-sama's curse. I didn't know the details about his disappearance. The aunt he lived with was killed the day that wanted Nagashi by a drug addict. No long after that, he suddenly vanished and was now missing. That Satoshi and I were... What? That's another thing. Like, it just feels too coincidental as well for like Oishi, like for just to find out that Keiichi just heard about this, like, you know, Satoshi's name in the club, like just from that quickly. It doesn't feel, it feels weird for the detective like try to, I guess, actually like go down and talk to a kid of the friend group and just try to manipulate them to actually get the answers they want. Especially since it feels like he actually is trying to get him retirement and like you know, a severance pay, and like because of the whole incident, he's being pressured to do so, it doesn't make too much sense to like manipulate someone to like try to get fame for like actually like doing all this if it feels like you're gonna retire anyway, and you're gonna move away from the sound of it, both even here and also the people. It just feels like it's a bunch of coincidences lining up to each other, which don't really add up to make it as a lie. Now Satoshi and I were what? My gaze fell to the bat in my hands. The parallelisms. Satoshi, what happened to Satoshi all those years ago is gonna happen to you. I swear to God, every time I'm going through this game, there's like small little pieces that remind me so much of like, God, the other game. Every time I'm going through this and God, those things, I definitely need to go through that now. God damn it. I just keep getting recollections of it in small parts every time. God damn it. My gaze fell to the bat in my hands. Could it be? Satoshi Honjo. Yeah, why was the bat in the locker? If he transferred out, why was his baseball uniform still there with the bat? That just seems weird. It was a bit difficult to see, but that was what was written on the white tape at the end of the bat. And this probably goes down to like make a confusion about how the classrooms are arranged, but like especially since like it feels like Keiichi like mentioned about like there was a whole division of like it was only elementary school and middle school, but also like said like there might be some people like actually in the school like from the, like it seemed like he was talking about students, but he only talked about elementary and middle school, and he made a distinction of Rika and Sadako arriving first because they're more in elementary school and they came into the classroom first, and all those lockers are right there in the classroom. And unless in those past years, they only recently joined the the school for the elementary school course, and so like I get the only thing I think is like Japanese equivalent of kindergarten, or like they just didn't have school until then. Literally, just my failings of not knowing the school system there is like coming to bite me. That literally, they should know what like Satoshi's locker is, and if not, like the teachers should as well. That and also I guess the uncle too. Honestly, like just grab the stuff that was left behind there. Even like a little league team and all that. It feels weird to leave it behind in the locker. Really weird. It was a bit difficult to see, but that was what was written in the white tape at the end of the bat. I see. So this was Satoshi's bat. Oh. This was Satoshi's bat. Since nobody was using it, I borrowed it. That's not a problem, is it? No, that's not it! The way Rina said that made it seem like this bat was something that should never be touched. Like it was some sort of offering at a shrine, or a memento that's seized. It's probably, like, just instead of it, okay, oh god, no! Oh god, that'd be amazing! If, like, I'm right about, like, Rika being, oh god. Well, like, obviously, I'm just going back and forth, just having my own ideas, but god, it feels like, just because of, like, these small misunderstandings happening all in case, and they can't really communicate, it's leading to everyone having heightened tensions even with the group. Not even just, like, our group is against Keiichi. It's gonna slowly devolve into all the friend group like slowly turning against each other. That's gonna be, oh god. And if the chapters are like only like a month or so long and all that, and we forget entirely about the beginning of the game, and then literally at the very like maybe the middle or near the end of the like before the 10th chapter for this whole like series, then it happens of Rika getting killed or something like that, or whoever that was. Honestly, god. Like it was some sort of offering, a shrine, or a memento of the deceased. I can only stand there, perplexed, unable to respond. Rina continued speaking without waiting for a reply. Why is it they're doing the exact same thing Satoshi-kun did when it happened to him? Rina was talking about it more than just the bat belonged to Satoshi. Same with Satoshi-kun, then actually intervene and talk. He joined a baseball team, but he really didn't like baseball. What does that have to do with me? Oh, the coincidences are piling up. Oh, yay. You're being manipulated. Satoshi-kun also suddenly started walking around with a bat one day. He joined a team, but he wasn't the type to play sports. What about it? Actually talk things out because, god damn it, you people. I closed my mouth before I could say that out loud. I called it was a bad idea to get the bat anyway, so this is on you, Keiichi. Listen carefully, Keiichi. Rina's trying to tell us something important. Satoshi-kun also one day came to school all by himself all of a sudden. Just like Keiichi-kun. And one day he suddenly started practicing his swing. Just like Keiichi-kun. And one day he suddenly became carrying the bat around with him. Just like Keiichi-kun. Okay, are you gonna say it twice, 3 times, 4 times over, please? Then one day he suddenly... What? Rina swallowed her words. You're worried, it makes sense, but if you don't want to talk about it, it's all gonna happen all over again if this is not just a coincidence. Rina's sudden silence brought a hush back into the surrounding area. I'm now getting reminded that's like I don't know if this is right or wrong, and like this is the one thing I actually do want to know. I don't want spoilers for this whole game. I wanted to roll around to my complete misunderstandings, things like this game is trying to practice so far, and going down to like giant rabbit holes. The one thing I do want to know in general for like Japanese society is all that, like, is it true that like there's a whole thing of like everyone wants to keep a complete and utter status quo no matter what it is? Like, I heard some stories of like for example, like everyone, like for the school dress codes and all that, almost everyone has like the exact same sort of outfit. They all look similar and all that. And there's like even one story of like adult, I don't remember what the profession was, whether it was a teacher or just like something like that. And there was like a hurricane warning and stuff like that, or tsunami, and like the practice method was to go to this certain area that would be like safe to flee to, but honestly, no, like the adult like said like, no, we're all gonna go to this place. This is a guaranteed safety. The storm is going to that place. We're not going there. And when they did, and everyone was saved, he was chastised for it and literally just like harassed about it because he didn't go for what was already like put in stone. Is that true? Because I heard that like from several places, and it seems to connect in my head. So it kind of lines up with like everyone is like starved for individuality, but like that's probably just a bad culture shock thing. I really hope I'm wrong there, but like, it feels like it pops up. It's not even from the same source. I just keep hearing it from multiple places. Even some like channels like say like they grew up in Japan and all that, or had experience like tourism there. It feels like it. I also want to find out if I'm wrong or right on that front. That's the one thing. Like, just tell me below or something like that. I honestly want to know if I'm right or wrong about that. I'm getting so many vibes from this, of like getting reminded of that in this story now, especially since I'm being told that I'm the writer was a social worker and all that, and I'm like the writing for like these children are honestly really great. It makes complete and utter sense, almost scarily so, of like how someone would act. It's great. It really is. I'm just now worried. It was then that I could finally digest the content of the entire conversation. She was saying my chain of actions is exactly the same as Satoshi's. It's the chain of fate, leaning and waning. You're following along. What's the meaning of this? Up until now, I'd forgotten all about Satoshi. Okay. I had never paid much thought into him in the first place. Not only that, I didn't even know anything of what he'd done. My actions today should have been my own creation after all the planning I had done. But they had been the exact same as Satoshi's? Then Satoshi... No, more importantly, if both Satoshi and I acted the same, then there was a really good possibility that what happened after would be the same. How long has the festival passed? Rina, that day, what happened to Satoshi? Rina knew. She knew what became of Satoshi. No, forget about what happened to the guy in the past. Rina knew what was going to happen to me. Answer me, Rina. Satoshi, what happened to him? What happened to Satoshi? With that, I walked up and grabbed Rina's shoulder violently and forcibly turned her around to face me. As I faced her, I felt a jolt travel through my entire body. I told you, Keiichi-kun. It was that person I didn't know. At least it definitely wasn't the Rina Ryugu I've been talking it to now. The voice just now didn't have a trace of trembling or emotion that it hadn't had before. The amount of regret I had for turning her around so carelessly was unsurpassed. That gaze that pierced like a cold needle. The smile on her face invoked an image of having been carved out by a knife. The chills went down my spine, my mind froze under a layer of rime. Both Arena's eyes pierced through mine, leaving me unable to look away. As if to remind me of the fear from that time before, Rena brought her face close to mine, so close I could feel her breath. Her face had filled my entire field of vision. Then, her sharply shaped lips grew even sharper, like the curve of a crescent moon. She grinned. I told you, Keiichi-kun. After a short pause, Rena repeated the same words again. Satoshi-kun, you see, transferred out. Transferred? Meaning what? What Rena meant must have been some new definition of transfer that I was previously not aware of. My throat and lips dried up. I couldn't even acknowledge what I just heard. All I could do was swallow down my own saliva. But it seemed that Rena saw that as a nod. She pulled her gaze back, and spryly stepped back 3 spaces. As she did, my legs gave out again, and I fell to my knees pathetically. Rena, and me on my knees underneath her emotionless smile. That had to be an odd, very odd sight indeed. See me in a pathetic state. She neither scoffed at me nor held out her hand. But I could neither stand nor escape with her gaze shooting through my eyes. There was undoubtedly a metal bat in my hand. Right now, it was useless to me. It was like a fly caught in a web. Heavy sweat beat all over my body. I could feel it dripping from my skin. But you won't, will you, Keiichi-kun? Rena finally released me from that cage of time after what felt like an eternity. But her question was missing something important, and incredibly vague. What is even going on with you? Once again, I swallowed hard, urging her on. Do what? What did she not want me to do? Transfer. Throw me a dictionary here. Keiichi, you were gonna go to the store to get some food, so I'm why not here? Why not this? Why not go get that bread in this dictionary? Have fun. Oh my lord. Oh, I think I'll stop here, but like, jeezums. The more you guys don't talk at all, and communication-wise, and like, you want to go in a roundabout way of warning people and all that, you're just gonna make it confusing even more. You really want to stop something happening, but like, you don't want to, unless there's something going around in this town besides it, like, well, Rena completely believes in the curse and all that from the sound of it, so we can't really, like, she's gonna, like, go around in circles and all this, like, talking about it. We need to talk to Mion, or like, the other two. Actually, not the other two. We didn't talk to Mion, honestly. Honestly. Like, Rena wants to get really close to, like, you know, Keiichi. Like, like, romantic attraction, probably. Or just, really just good friends, honestly. It doesn't really matter, like, right now. But, like, somehow Keiichi and Mion need to talk alone. Even if it's, like, the whole thing. Or, like, talking to either Sadako. I don't want to bring up Sadako or, like, Rika. Like, there's no one else you can really talk to, have a serious, actual conversation without someone happening, and like, making it feel like everyone's, if Rena wasn't like, trying to like, feels in a roundabout way of like something's watching around. If it's not the curse she's worried about, like she can't even explain properly anything going on. If she just really just wants just Keiichi to like. Not to go on this path, but at the same time, I'm just confused, honestly. It feels like she, like, wants to help, like, Keiichi, but for some reason, the way how she's trying to go about it, it just weirdly just stupid, honestly. Especially with, how smart their games go, it's also very much more even weirdly out of place like that. Like, it's also the reason why the whole first chapter is all about that, to show how smart they are. At the same time, they're not talking. So there must be something going on. There's just something else going on. And Satoshi, like, we literally just given all this information, and now we're given like a lot of things showing that you can't really believe it all, but there's things which makes you buy into it again more. And like they didn't show anything overtly supernatural. Like honestly, like, there's absolutely nothing supernatural this so far, unless like they show something that's weird, and then later on has an explainable, justifiable explanation for it. But then you start doubting that again, and back and forth. Literally, that's what it feels like. Hmm. And the further along we go, more we get an answer to. But like right now, based on how you're going about like trying to like you're setting up Keiichi's setting up signs that he's like icing himself. Like even like he made like one or two small odd comments to his parents. Now even if his friend group actually wants to try to help, they're not they're not having a good time doing that. They try to think of other reasons to why to think about it, unless like because of like if Mion not thinking back of like if everyone is actually traumatized and if Rina has it like a neurological disorder and actually believes in the curse wholeheartedly and that's why she's going around this way of being worried at the same time trying to urge Keiichi in line to be going along with the whole entire setting of it and like actually thinking of that was Satoshi also a transfer student in the sound of it if like Satoshi and Ant actually came to here to like take care of Sadako. Then all that happened. Hmm. Hmm. Just weird. It's very weird. Look, honest conversations. That's all you need to do. Honest conversations. Yeah. It just feels weird. And if Mion keeps going down that route, even like if everyone like if even Mion is traumatized like as well, or like forced into silence as well, then it just means like furthermore that like this thing going on with like the Sotozaki family as a whole, so they have big sway and probably just threatening almost everyone, like at least like her in town. We just need more details about that. We just have only a small scratch, which honestly makes it even more enticing. Way much more enticing. I'm really looking forward to see how it goes from here. But now I guess we're gonna have a whole thing Keiichi looking and talking and like just debating all about Satoshi. And yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be fun times indeed. I guess to see what conclusion Keiichi comes up to for next time. So, what a fun time watching as I am playing this. Hope you see you next time, what time that may be. And I'll hope you fantastic day.